Vivek Saraogi is now joining us. We're talking about sugar as a space and the relief, the limited relief that has been provided by the government. Let's understand what this means for companies. Vivek Saraogi is Managing Director at Balrampur Chini Mills. He's joining us right now. Mr. Saraogi, good morning. Great to have you with us here on CNBC-TV18. Prashant this side. We spoke, a few days ago, and you'd explained in detail what the implications this could be. And you'd said that, well, the way this kind of hurts at that point was lower sugar prices. How much of a relief is what we've seen now, and how does this sort of help? Just explain that to us, sir.
Yeah, morning, Prashant. So, yes, I'll pick up from where we left. So, basically, at that point of time, the diversion, let's say, was there was hard stop, which was looking like 11, 12 lakh tons of sugar sacrifice. From that, the government has recalibrated and understood the production numbers, distributed the sacrifice within juice and B-heavy, and a total sacrifice of 17 lakhs has been accepted. I think that is a very practical decision. And they've also put in a rider that every month they'll be looking at the production numbers and indicated that should the production numbers increase, they would, in tandem, increase the diversion. They would allow 17 lakhs to, creep up to the level of production increase, which they've estimated now.
Right. So overall diversion has been basically capped at 17 lakh tons. Today,
yeah, correct. Which earlier was looking capped at 11, 12 lakh tons.
Okay. So how does this, is this you would term this as moderate relief? Does this solve the problems? Obviously, this is not what it was before. The notification came in earlier. And for Balrampur itself, which operates, I think, a standalone cane juice facility, I mean, I'm assuming this is good news.
Yeah, so it's good news all over. Let me just explain you the hues and the color of the good news. One, sugar prices do not, deepen the correction, and probably we've hit the low already in my mind. Secondly, it allows mills like us and others to have flexibility and run juice operations. One would not say 100%, but much better than what we were. So let's assume in our minds, we were running X. We'll definitely be 2-3X to that level, from that level. So it's a well-distributed, well-thought-out, well-calibrated relief based on the basic premise that there is sugar needed, and next year also looking slightly vulnerable owing to maybe a lower Maharashtra-Karnataka production. So this is a decision which I hail, which I appreciate, and I think all players from the industry have appreciated this. And there's very close coordination. We understood, the government understood our stand. We worked deeply, distributed the sacrifice. So it's fair to all the millers concerned.
So, Mr. Saraogi, what would this mean in terms of inventory levels? Because the fear was that there will be inventory levels built up. There could be an increase in terms of working capital on account of that as well. Are all those fears now assuaged?
No. Let me just complete that. So we are talking of what was expected, what has happened. I'm saying to that extent, on the current reality, how the government is dealt with is now deeply appreciated. Secondly, if there is an inventory built up, we are okay with it. And I think any responsible industrialist stroke businessman should be. Because there is a fear of a lower sugar production next year. Should that happen, one would definitely look to build up some inventory to feed the next year. So there will be inventory built up, which is appreciated, which is needed for next year. And should that not be needed, there are 100 ways of evacuating that inventory.
Okay. All right. Hi, good morning, Mrs. Saraogi, and thanks so much for speaking to us here on CNBC-TV18. Well, tell us then what's the numbers we should be working with for 24 and 25 in terms of ethanol production as well as on sugar, post this, this relief, so to call it, that has come about?
So as we said, the ethanol numbers are in front of you, and sugar production is up for grabs every month, where the government said it would be recalibrated. But I think ISMA has given out a number of somewhere between 30.5 to 31 million net of assuming a 17 lakh diversion. So 305 to 310 lakhs production after a diversion of 17 lakhs. I think that is the number we've given out. And let's assume this leads to a 20 lakh inventory buildup, so be it. It's needed in the system. And should it not be needed, as I just said, we have many ways, there's export, there is allowing higher diversion next year. There is a definitive data which shows next year's production might be lower than this year.
So what would your sort of closing inventory be, say, for FY24? Is there a sense?
That's a good question. As per government data, the closing inventory was 57. So it could go up to 75, 77.
Okay. And for
But
Balrampur?
that's not a cause for alarm. That is not a cause for alarm.
Okay. And for Balrampur, would
That
you be
is
able
needed.
to... For Balrampur, would you be able to provide the number, closing inventory? I mean,
No, we can't do that. Impossible.
Oh, okay, and you said that, in your opinion, prices have already hit a low. Sugar prices have already hit a low.
That's a very personal view. Yes, I feel so. The panic, I think the panic is now out of the system. There's no more fear. There's no panic.
Yeah.
It's well calibrated. We can plan our, where to make beef, C, and juice as Balrampur.
Yeah. And where are prices now, sir, compared to earlier? Are they? You said prices could drop at least 5%. Are they down 5% from that point?
No. I think that 5% probably on that day looked more real, not now.
Got it. Mr. Saraogi, it's a pleasure, sir.
Yeah, not so bad.
Not so bad. Great conversation. Thank you for picking...
Much less than 5.
Much less than 5%. Thank you very much for joining us and sort of clarifying. Your stock is up 7% as we speak, so the relief is real, and markets are bidding these prices high. Mr. Saraogi, great to have you with us here.